Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and freaking early. It's 3 p.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this afternoon I came across a news story. This has been out for a couple days now, and it's from the Grand Ole Opry. Now, I'm not a country music fan or anything, and but I came across this video. The link will be right down below. I'll put the actual video from TikTok right on top so you can watch it yourselves. And the only way I can describe this is sad. It's country music singer Elle King, whose original name is Tanner Ellie Schneider. She's actually the daughter of comedian Rob Schneider. I can't remember any of the movies he did right now, but it's his daughter. I had no idea. And she's doing a tribute to happy birthday tribute to Dolly Parton, Dolly Parton's 78th birthday. And apparently Elle King, she's talked about this before, about drinking on stage. That she gets nervous before she goes on stage. And I'll have the link down with the CBS News story down below. And she talked about this, that sometimes she goes, she doesn't get as hammered as she used to. And she talked about this before this incident that happened. And this incident is sad. Like I said, the main link will be right on top, the TikTok video. And I watched it all the way through a couple times. All right, so she's doing a song, one of Dolly Parton's songs. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called "Marry Me." And like I said, I'm not a country music star or a country music fan. Excuse me. And she flubs the lyrics. She gets the lyrics totally wrong, but that's not bad enough. Then she starts making up words. She's saying, well, I'm here in Tennessee, in Nashville. And then she just gives up completely. And then she goes off on a profanity-laced tirade. And it just keeps getting worse. She says, my name's Elle King, and I am hammered. She actually admits it. And that's when the heckler jumps in, and Elle King says something along the lines of, I can't believe you guys paid, the tickets for this were $300 a ticket. And she says something about, I can't believe you guys paid money for this. So now it's not bad enough that she's already, she's made a mockery of Dolly Parton's song on her birthday, but she's actually insulting the people in the crowd. One of the hecklers, she says, you're not getting your money back. And one of the hecklers yells back, I don't want it back. And she says, good, you're not effing getting it back. Like I said, and she says she's effing hammered, and it's a hot, what you would call a hot mess. It's a train wreck. And no, I'm not here to make fun of this woman. If anything, I just look at this and it's just sad. It reminds me of myself. And this is what I really want to go through and talk about, because I thought quitting liquor, drinking, I was drinking since I was like 12 years old. And I thought it was going to be one of the hardest things to quit. And it actually wasn't. And I don't miss it one bit. So I'm just going to talk really, really quickly about this. I'll say this too. This incident, I almost wish that there were videotapes or phones with video back when I was drinking, back when I was using, because then you actually get an opportunity to see what a mess you are. Because when you're intoxicated, you really believe that you're smoother, you're more relaxed, you could sing better. I played electric guitar and bass guitar, and I thought I could play better. Seriously, I thought I was the life of the party. Now that I'm clean and sober, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I cannot stand to be around people that are. I haven't been in a bar, but I've been to weddings and other social occasions where people were drinking, and it's just sad. It's one of the and I'm not saying that to be mean or mocking or anything, but it really is. You see these people, and they're just their inhibitions are gone, and they don't realize how boring or the idiotic things they're saying, and how they just repeat themselves over and over. And you're trying to you try to be polite, and it wasn't until I actually got clean and sober that I realized I for years, for 25 years, I thought liquor loosened me up, made me cooler, made me smoother. And then when I got clean on October 23rd, and I actually started 2006, and I actually started going to, going to a function here or there and seeing people that were drunk, it just, it amazed me. Okay, so I started drinking. I was actually getting served at a package store before I could drive. The drinking age was 18 when I was like 13. And there was this one package store in town that where all the kids in high school knew they could go there and get served. And I started getting served, before I could even drive. I think I was, 14, 15 years old, and I was drinking every weekend. I'd go get like a half bottle of schnapps, I think it was, or something like that. And I'd go out with my buddies, or I was dating a girl, the girl that I went out with all through high school. I went to the senior prom with her and everything like that. And liquor became a usual part. We'd go out on the weekend, we'd go to the movies, or we'd go watch videos in my house. And liquor was always a part of that, even though I wasn't old enough to drink. I was, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I was still living with my mother, and we'd go back to my place, and my mother would leave us alone in the living room and put the video in. And I'd break out a couple of 6-packs, wine coolers for her and beer and schnapps for me or whatever. And like I told you guys before, until I was 47 years old, I don't think I had ever been intimate with a woman once when I was actually clean and sober. And it really scared me the first time, but I'll tell you, it was way better than I thought it was going to be scary, but I swear to God, it was so much better being clean and sober. I'll just leave that there. I know you guys don't want to hear me describe that. And this is one of the things that I thought I was going to miss drinking. Once I got clean and sober back on October 23rd, 2006, I knew that I would have to quit everything. I knew that it's just that, it really doesn't work. I mean, some people out there will probably say that, yeah, they still drink. They quit the hard stuff, and they still smoke pot or they still drink or whatever. But I'm not buying that. I'm not. When you quit, you have to quit everything. And there's a good side to it. Like I said, I really didn't think I could do it, because I thought about New Year's. I thought about, birthdays, weddings and stuff. You mean I can't drink? I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. It scared me, the thought of not drinking. And out of all the things I was addicted to, when I go to the meetings, like I go to AA meetings because they're more accepting of everything. And back when I was in medically assisted treatment, methadone, NA tended to be more judgmental with methadone. So I went to AA meetings, and I always introduced myself as, hi, I'm Daryl. I'm an addict and alcoholic. I considered myself an alcoholic. I considered myself a recovering alcoholic, but it wasn't my drug of choice. Right now, it scares me. The thought of drinking scares me. I don't miss it one bit. I used to love booze. I was one of those guys that had all the mirrors and the Budweiser paraphernalia. I had a collection of shot glasses. Like I said, I went to the bar every single weekend. I was a drinker and a drug user, but I was a drinker, and I don't miss it. I do not miss it one bit, and it's to the point now where it actually scares me. I can't believe that I drank that young. I can't believe that other people, like kids, 18, 19 years old, drink right now. Right now, I just, the thought of having liquor, I think the thing that scares me is the loss of control. Like not being, I don't want to sound cocky or arrogant, but I like who I am right now. I like feeling good. I don't want to feel hungover, but I like having control of my senses, my faculties. I like being who I am. And the thought of having a drink and losing that control really terrifies me right now. I wouldn't have a drink if somebody paid me. If somebody paid me $100 right now, I wouldn't have a drink. $1,000. I don't think I'd have a drink for $1 million right now, because I know what good would those $1 million be. Because once I started drinking, I'd start using, and I'd probably be gone or in jail. So what good would $1 million be? I did not miss it. I really didn't. I really thought I didn't think my life would be worth living if I couldn't drink. I just wanted to share that with you. There's so much more I could tell you about that, but I really thought it was going to be so hard to quit drinking. How could I possibly go through life? New Year's, celebrations, weddings, how could I, how could you do that? It's not hard, believe me. Once you get used to it, once you're clean and sober for a while, you get to know who you are, and you start to like yourself. A lot of times people drink, like she said, this Elle King thought she drank because it covered up her insecurities. And she says in one of these interviews that it didn't bother her when she missed a note, but now that I'm sober, I look back at that and it didn't bother her, but to everybody else, you're only covering things up in your mind. Everybody else sees it. It's not like you're not making mistakes. You're making mistakes. You just don't care anymore, which is even worse, which is obvious in this clip. She's just a hot mess, really. And like I said, I don't say that to be mean. Hopefully, really, if it's her time, some people never get sober. Some people don't ever think it's a problem. Some people, and maybe it's her time, maybe it's not. But hopefully she'll look at this video, because she embarrassed herself and she embarrassed a lot of people. And it probably didn't do her career too much good either. Just some thoughts from a 17-year recovering addict and alcoholic. All right, I'll be back later with another video. The links will be down below. Like I said, the TikTok video of her just making a mess on stage will be right on top. I'll be back later with another video. Recovery is possible. Have a good Monday.